Good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for June 29th, 2018. Happy Friday everyone. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Today is the last trading day of the week, of the month, and of the second quarter of the year. Next week we begin the second half of trading for the year. We'll have new pivots next week. We will not be doing a monthly market outlook on Monday since we have the holidays coming up right after it. We're going to let the week play out, and then we will do the monthly market outlook on the Monday after, which should be the 9th of July. So Monday, the 9th of July, we will do a monthly market outlook where we will run through the larger time frame outlook and scan through some opportunities for the month of July. So looking at the ES right now, what you'll notice here is we got a significant little bounce in the previous session here after price dropped below 2700, popped back above it, and then rallied the rest of the session. Here we had some overflow to the upside as prices pushed back toward the 8-period moving average. One thing that's very important here is short term we're still holding 2700 basically, but you can see this 8-period average has been moving downward. That's this gold line right here, that yellow line. That's been moving downward, and every time we've been above it, we've basically closed back below it. Here we pushed above it in pre-market, now we're back below it again. So that is a lot of upside resistance here to face. We also have this key level coming into play at 42.5. That's very important. So that's a zone right now that if price gets into 42.5, 43, 44, and can't really push beyond that zone, we may see a move right back down toward recent lows, and we could begin to chop in this zone for a little while. And that could be the case as we head into the holiday shortened week next week. So for the most part, we have major resistance coming in at about 42.5. That would be right inside that trigger zone in a downward sloping market. That could be an opportunity for bears to defend short term. Now bulls have done a good job of defending down here, and if they can push through 42.5, it starts to open up a little bit more upside. But right now, a lot of resistance up here between 42.5 and recent highs at about 50. So we'll continue to watch this zone here in the ES. Looking at the NQ right here, very similar price action. I mean, it almost looks like a copy paste of the price action that we're seeing in the ES. You're seeing right now 7K, very, very important right here. That's been the level, that's been the major pivot in the charts. The other level below it here, call it 65, 61, 70, 61, 65, somewhere in that zone. Big time resistance in the short term time frame. We could be kind of range bound between those recent pivots right now, at least in the short term. But again, you can see price coming into the 8-period average here, which has been offered so far during the last week plus, and again could be coming into a bit of resistance here above that zone, which bears would want to use to fuel the next push into 68.50 half. Bulls want to be able to push beyond that pivot to return it to highs. So that's kind of the pivot, that's the battle zone right now in the NQ. Looking at crude oil, major continuation in the previous session. Crude oil is just on fire to the upside. A major short squeeze being let out right now above the previous month's high and holding, at least for the last 2 days. And again, that could still lead to some selling pressure at some point. We have a large range that's played out here so far, and typically speaking, after this amount of strength, you wouldn't see a major continuation through those highs significantly, but we could see some more trading above those highs before perhaps some sort of pullback or maybe rejection occurs. At the moment, any pullback given this trend could be a great buying opportunity for another continuation higher. So this has been a very strong trend. Would not be eager to sell it right now, but any pullback could be a great buying opportunity for a shot at the next swing move up. The next swing move up could really start pushing you through 74.50 and into the 77, 78 zone. So it could be pretty significant. Where that pullback comes, again, does it get as deep as 70.40? If so, that could be the ideal area to buy ahead of a continuation towards 75, 76, 78. All right, taking a look now at gold futures. This one has sold off significantly here recently. It reached our 1252 target. We still have 1240 down below. 1240 is a significant key level that still needs to be tested. That's recent support lows. After this major sell-off that we've seen here lately, any bounce again into the PIMA trigger zone or into the next month's pivot range could be a selling opportunity to reclaim that recent support at 1240 and perhaps even burst through it. So right now we have perhaps one more shot at another move down. We have significant amount of weakness but no real pullback. So we're either watching for a significant rejection on these lows, or we're looking for a pullback for a continuation. One of those will likely play out here pretty soon. So continue to watch gold as it continues to develop. Lastly, taking a look at BTC. This is Bitcoin. Bitcoin has broken 6,000 here and is down about 4%, 4.2% as it continues to push lower. This is a significant breach here, and if you look at this level over the last 6 months or so, it's been a level that is held time and time again. Now breaking through it, this could really unleash significant weakness if price cannot reestablish back above 6K. If this is allowed to really drop, I mean, we could really be at 5,500 really soon. We could be dropping down into the next major level below, which again I mentioned is 3881. There's clear air down below. So I mean, at least in terms of the futures contract. So this has major support that could really open up a lot more downside here. Got to continue to watch 6K if it cannot reestablish back above that zone, or if we pop back above it and fail, say we hit the trigger zone here like we did last month, pops up into the trigger zone and the pivot range and drops. Same thing could happen here, and that could lead to another move down. So this has the gold playbook right now, where if this were to bounce next month into the pivot range or into these PIMAs, it could be a great selling opportunity for a continuation, because right now this thing is just not going up at the moment. It's been very heavy, and right now a failure to hold 600 has clear air down to the next key pivot below. That's as low as 3881. So we'll continue to watch Bitcoin as it trades around 6K. That is it for today. Again, thank you very much for watching the videos. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a fantastic Friday. I'll see you all in the trading room in a little while. Take care.